everyone, and welcome to Silverline Silver Sunday. We lost Tommy. This
here.
November the 9th, 2025. I'm your host, I'm Rolling Man, and we're just going to have us a fun show tonight. With me, as always, is Miss Roberta Conroy, Colors Cat Mouse Viper. Say hi, Roberta.
Hello, everyone.
Roberta's feeling very spacey today out there.
I like the spacey.
In the planets.
Mm-hmm.
Anything new, Roberta?
No, we're through Halloween, so
so we can finally start talking about Christmas. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
We were in Target yesterday, and they already have all the Christmas stuff out already.
It's too soon.
It's
way too soon.
Yeah. I haven't even had my turkey yet, so
I know.
Roberta and I are joined by Mr. Tom Mason, who just keeps buying them.
I do. I have tons of old comics here that I just keep buying and buying and buying,
That's great.
In association with tonight's topic. So I'm ready, and also I look forward to all the Thanksgiving candy that comes out.
Oh, Thanksgiving candy?
Because there isn't any.
Oh, I was like, wait.
There's Halloween candy specifically for Halloween, and there's Christmas stuff that's made for Christmas and Christmas shapes. There isn't any Thanksgiving candy that no one makes chocolate shaped like turkeys or anything like that.
We should do that.
I'm sure there's money in it.
I would imagine. Yeah.
I saw a commercial for Kraft macaroni and cheese apple pie flavor.
Crack and macaroni and cheese. What?
That does not sound good.
Kraft cheddar cheese with apple pie flavoring.
I would eat a bite of that if it was at the end of a Costco aisle and somebody was offering it to me, but I don't think I would buy it before that.
I would try it. I would try that.
I would try it.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't want to spend money on a whole box. It would have to be. You have to give it to me as by a spoonful.
Yep. We are also joined by that man in the mask guy, Mr. Mike W. Belcher. Say hi, Mike.
Howdy, everybody.
Now we learned something just before we went live, y'all. Mike, how cold is it there?
It is obviously below freezing because it is snowing outside in central Kentucky.
Yeah, we need a picture. If we don't have video or a picture, it didn't happen.
I don't want to remember it. I just want to go on to the tomorrow's supposed to be like frigid. I don't think it's supposed to get out of the
tomorrow is frigid, but today it's snowing. What?
Yeah.
Showing a picture of snow to Roland and Tommy is like showing a cross to a vampire.
Yeah.
Right. Although it is supposed to get cold here. So BJ we were talking about this before the stream. She goes, it's supposed to get cold tonight. I said, no, it's not tonight. That's tomorrow night. I said, tomorrow is supposed to be chilly, or tomorrow day is supposed to be chilly. Like my Alexa just told me that it's supposed to be 69 at midnight tonight. So, but tomorrow night, computer, what will the temperature be tomorrow night at midnight?
Tomorrow night at midnight, the temperature will be 39 degrees.
39 degrees.
What?
That's cold.
Is that when the iguanas start falling out of trees?
Yeah, I was about to ask that. Yeah.
I saw a meme of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and when the alligators start putting their snouts just above the water, so that when it freezes, right, they'll still breathe. Y'all seen those too?
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing, but apparently that's real.
Well, that's because with their little hands, they can't carry the hammer to crack the ice. They have to get there early.
Yeah, so apparently in Orlando, it's 81 today was the high. Tomorrow's supposed to be 71, but it's supposed to be 58 on Tuesday.
Woo.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm glad I'm going on a cruise to the Bahamas.
Well, I'm just glad my night class is tomorrow night, not Tuesday night. Yeah. So... And lastly, of course, we are joined by Mr. Thomas Flamani Jr., who says he needs 3 of those, please.
Three times buy the wrong comic book.
Before we jump into the next topic, I want to remind you guys we've got a crowdfunder going, and boy, it sure needs some eyeballs. Because I don't think very many of you've seen it. So jump on over to Silverline Comics Crowdfunder. We have got Scary Book number 2, and where's the other one? Oh, Sirens number 3. These are our remixes, and you can see the covers there. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time going over. You guys know what we do, but I do want to show you these because they are awesome as always, right? So
Ooh.
here is. Remember, you can only get these beautiful foil covers through the campaigns.
Shiny.
If you like the shiny, you got to get them through these campaigns. This is, of course, Scary Book number 2. You can see right there. And I can actually show you these too, because Tommy, for the record, these are Tommy always provides me. Excuse me, Kablam provides me with a proof.
There you go. I don't know what you're talking about.
This is a proof for the cover only. It's not a proof for the interiors, right? That's something completely different. But Tommy always gives me a little gift on the inside.
So what's on this? What do we do this time for you?
Mhm.
Yeah. So that one's on the Scary Book. I gotta show you the other one, right? And then the other one is Sirens, right? This is a brand new cover by John Drury, and it looks like I scratched that one up some.
What?
It does.
No longer
Yeah,
mint.
I scratched it up some. Yep.
Uh-oh.
I was seeing those lines.
Those metallic covers are soft, so you got to be careful with them.
Yeah, that's on me. These were pristine when I got them. And of course, this one is for Sirens number 3 remix. Like I said, this is a brand new cover from John Drury, inked and colored by Barb. But also got a special surprise in this one, in that Jenny Gregory did us a little.
Oh, nice.
That's
I
great.
had her draw you something for you. I mean, Kablam did. Kablam had you. What was in the other one though? The other one's the more important one.
That's the Tommy one.
Well, yeah, that was this one.
Oh, okay. I'm
Yeah.
sharing. I'm not watching the video. I'm sharing.
Yeah.
thing to help everybody.
Yeah, that's a looks like a Punisher skull face, a Tommy style Punisher face.
There you go.
So
I'm sorry.
so
I'm sharing the stream to everybody real quick before I forget.
that's okay. That's good. So yeah, if you like these shiny and you want these, I can look in between them, can I? And you want these exclusive foil covers, you have to back the campaign, because we do not print these beyond the campaign. They're printed for the campaign. However many of you select these, plus we print a few for the creators. So the creators are all going to get a copy, and that's it. We won't print them ever again. Now that doesn't mean we won't do something else special, right? But you won't be able to get this cover like this again. So jump on over there, back that campaign. It sure does need your eyeballs. It sure does need some love.
And Silverline, remember, we're cruel but fair.
That's right. Yeah, and so these are remix books, and the beauty of the remix books is that probably most of you listening right now, you didn't get the original ones, so this is your opportunity to support us and get some of the old work as well. They are colored nicely. Barb has done a really, really nice job coloring Sirens, and her stuff just looks great over John Drury and Chuck Bordell. Roberta's also working on one of our on our remix ones. We got to get another one of those up. And that one is Pendulum. So
that one's good.
So,
I remember that one.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys get over there, back the campaign, share it out. And yeah. So any other news?
Hey, well, I noticed that David Ace Gutierrez had weighed in on the chat.
Thank you.
I should point out, and I'm only pointing it out because last Sunday, Dave Olbrich and I had dinner with him in Redondo Beach.
Oh yeah. Oh, very
cool.
cool.
So,
Where are the pictures? Did you post pictures? Did David post pictures?
We took no pictures.
Right.
Well, then it didn't happen.
That's
Isn't that
so
what we
old
said earlier?
school. That's so old school. What do you mean you didn't take pictures?
Yeah, you didn't take pictures of the food and all the stuff and the server and no. All right.
No.
Dave says, "Oh, Tom's a big softie."
Look, I go to the gym as often as I can.
David, you know a different side of Tom than I do.
Well, Dave never worked for me.
That's true.
Tom Mason is cruel and not fair.
Jose said, "Jose, what's up, Jose? Was one of those by him? I think Jose has one of these covers, didn't he? Did he do one? No, he didn't do one of those. Sorry, he worked on a different one. No, never mind. Ignore what I just said. He says there's harvest sugar pumpkins like the candy corn. For Thanksgiving.
That's sort of like a side quest for real candy corn. Though. That's not actual candy corn.
Okay, so does anyone really like candy corn?
Oh yes. Oh my God, yes.
Really?
I do. The fact that I usually will eat a whole bag just sitting there watching, so I don't buy them.
Yeah.
If candy corn had a really sharp point at the end, I would just stab it into my vein. That's how much I love it.
Now those flavored different candy corns are kind of cool too.
Nope. I'm a classic corn person.
I'm not a candy corn guy. I did tell a joke today or yesterday, I guess, when we went to Target. Roberta, I'm just gonna ask for your forgiveness right now. My wife smacked me when I told it, but it was funny. I thought it was funny anyway. So we get up to the cashier at Target, right? We got us a few things, a couple Christmas things as well, right? And she was youngish. The cashier was youngish. I don't know, 30, 35. At this point in time, it's really hard to tell, right? And so
because your vision is that
she was very friendly. We were chit chatting, and I said, I got a little complaint that I'm not sure you're aware of. And she goes, "What's that?" And I said, "Well, Santa looked like he was having a really good time. He was sitting under 3 hose."
Oh.
And she said, "What?" I said, "Yeah." And I said, "I looked and there was Santa and it said ho, ho, ho right above him." And she goes, "Oh," she goes, "You're my favorite person today."
And then she
was a groaner, man.
And she called the human resources and had you thrown out.
Yeah.
BJ smacked me and
then now you're no longer allowed to go shopping.
No, the girl, she goes, "That was a dad joke." I said,
That was a dad joke.
That
is a dad joke.
It was, wasn't it?
It's not smack worthy, but it's definitely silly.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. David Hayes says candy corn is delicious, and I'll hear nothing else.
Right, I'm not taking any questions. It just is what it is.
Hey, we were joined by Acres of
Flavored sugar.
Hello, love the programs, and thanks. Hello, Acres of Movies. Thanks so much for tuning in and joining us. We are going to talk about comics that we buy again and again and again and again and again tonight. All right, so that's it for my news. Anybody else? It is not cold down here. Matter of fact, I had to turn the fan on me because I'm a little bit warm. I can't turn that one on that I usually run during the day because it blows right past the microphone. And it sounds like there's a windstorm when I turn it on. All right, well, there's no other news. Let's get right to the topic. So tonight's topic is, what comics do you buy again when you see them? And what we're talking about here is you own it already, right? But you're out and about, you're at the store, and you see it, and you go, "Oh my goodness, I know I have that, but I've got to buy it again."
So is it on purpose? You gotta specify. Is it on purpose or by accident?
Yeah,
I think it's both. Sometimes I'm just stupid.
Yeah.
And I think,
oh, wait.
Maybe do I have this or do I not have this? And I'm gonna, if it's only like $2 or $3, I'm gonna get it just to cover my bet. And if I have it, if I get home and I have it turns out I have 2 or 6 copies already, then it's like, okay, joke's on me. But sometimes I get it because I really just want to reread it again in its original form.
And this could be reprints too, right? We can, things any
absolutely.
other version that we just want another version of it.
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely. Hey, I think I figured this out too. Hey, y'all listen to this.
We call those people stupid, though. That's it. We do. That ought to be on my answering machine. Can you send me that?
I think I can. Yeah.
I just want to play that all the time now. We call those people stupid, though.
That's great. What a soundbite.
Yeah. So, all right. So, who wants to go first?
Tom's got receipts, so let's get him to start.
Go
That's
ahead, Tom.
true.
Start with your first one, Tom. What's the first one you got?
So it's a couple of things. One is I like buying the comics again in their original form not necessarily in their reprinted, repackaged form, because sometimes I don't like the new coloring.
Right. Yes.
I think the new coloring can be great, but it's sometimes on different paper than it was originally, and so it looks kind of garish.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I'd rather buy the older classic comic and even though I have these things on the shelf in trade paperback form or have the original socked away somewhere, it's like finding an old movie when you're flipping around on cable. Like I got the DVD of The Great Escape.
Oh yeah.
But if I'm flipping around on cable and I see it again, I'm going to watch it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
5 feet from me. I
Right.
can watch it anytime.
And
It
from
just
the
shows-
beginning.
Right. From the beginning. Oh, look, it's in the middle. I know this part. I'll just sit here for the next 90 minutes or whatever and watch the whole thing. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
so one of the ones that I buy a lot of is, and these are ones I got at WonderCon last year, is Howard Chaykin's The Scorpion
Oh yeah. Yeah.
from Atlas Comics.
Yeah, that's cool.
And even though he did the second issue's cover is by Ernie Colon, which is, doesn't do it justice. But the
Right.
first cover is fantastic. It's a great Chaykin cover. Back when he was doing sort of a Neil Adams kind of a riff.
Right. Yeah. And this is early Chaykin.
Early Chaykin, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the first time that I really saw him out on his own.
Yeah.
Like he'd been
Yeah.
doing Marvel stuff and DC stuff, and now he was sort of like free of that. And this was, from my mind anyway, Chaykin Unleashed.
Yeah.
And so
And correct me if I'm wrong, but don't you generally find those in the cheap boxes? So the cheap
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. People just put those in the dollar boxes because they had no idea what these things are. Oh,
Right.
Atlas Comics. Yeah, nobody wants those. Here's a bunch of Atlas Comics in the dollar boxes.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'll pick them up in any condition, and I'll just read it while I'm at the show
Yeah.
because it's
Well,
fun.
All right. So let me ask you this question. Because you buy multiples, do you ever give any of them away? You ever go, oh, look, I've got another Scorpion 1 and 2. I'm going to take my low grade copies and I'm going to give them to this person who doesn't have them.
So it depends. I'm certainly willing to part with stuff.
Yeah.
What usually happens is I'm on a Chaykin group on Facebook, and somebody says, I need this. It's like,
And
well,
you trade.
I got about 75 copies of that because I keep buying it.
Right.
So, what
That's
condition
great.
do you need it in, sir?
Right.
And by the way, I'd like something.
What grade do you want? Because I got a few.
Yeah, and
Well-
maybe sometimes I'll just give it away to somebody just because. And other times it's like, well, I need this. Do you have
Right.
that?
Just trade. Yeah.
Great.
You know what? I am a huge fan. And it might go back to my elementary school days, but I am a huge fan of trading comics, right?
Yeah.
If I've got 3 or 4 comics that Tom's like, oh man, I'd love to have those. Here, Tom, just what do you got, Tom? Trade me something,
And I think that's good, but also I think I'm at the age where, like, if you need it and I've got extras, it's like here I'll spend $2 and mail it to you. It's not a big deal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'd rather, because I think that's good karma at some point.
I do too. I think so. And the other thing is, for me, the other thing is that, clearly I'm buying it again because I like it. And so it's like I want to spread the joy. It's like, hey, Tommy, I really like these because I have 14 copies of it. So here, I want to give you a copy of it, Tommy, because I think you'll like it too, right?
And I also like flipping through
Tommy
the
can't read.
originals.
I don't read it.
I also like looking.
pictures.
I also like flipping through it in its original form because I like to remember where I was when I first read it.
Oh man, yeah.
And
Yeah.
I like to
All
look
the
through
smells come back to you.
Yeah, because it's. I mean, there is nothing like that moldy, old, musty, old comic smell.
Right.
And
So I want to time out here real quickly because we know, but for those of you listening, one of the things that Tom said a little bit earlier, he said that he doesn't necessarily like to buy them in the reprint form because the colors don't look the same. And so I wanted to like spend a moment on that. Part of the reason the colors don't, and you artists chime in if I'm saying something wrong. Part of the reason the colors don't look the same is because in the original form they were printed on newsprint, and that newsprint just sucks the colors right up, sucks the ink right up, and it looks different. So when we print it today,
They may have been recolored too. So
they printed on that. Yeah, they printed on that slick, smooth paper. And so they might have colored something a brighter, let's just say yellow, knowing that once it got on that newsprint, it would darken some, right? But now you print it, and it's just like, that's yellow.
And they had fewer color options in those days too.
Yes.
Right.
They were
Very
printing
few.
with an old sort of screen, that old screen format.
Right.
And
like 40 colors.
I was
Yeah,
going to say, it was like,
even,
wasn't it like 64 colors?
it was
like
four, Batman Year One was done with 45 colors according to Mascelli.
yeah.
Oh,
45
really?
colors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roberta, how many color options do you have now?
In the millions, right?
Millions, gazillion colors.
Yeah.
Whatever
She
I
uses
want.
every one of them on every page.
Yeah, and you can
Whatever I want.
also get a lot in modern comics. You can also get a lot more subtlety,
Yes.
and you can have a lot of different tones, and you can do better lighting, and there's a whole bunch of options you have now that in the old cruddily printed comics you didn't really have.
No.
And so
No.
there's a certain charm in the crummy printing of old.
You know, and
comics.
if they're trying to reprint them, how are they getting? They don't have the film from back in the day, so they're scanning the books. You know, trying to make a good copy out of scans, right?
Right.
You know, throwing a book down,
Mhm.
you know, on the scanner, just grabbing, or they're just recoloring it. You know,
Well, Well, there's a question there because
so the colors are never going to be the same.
If they don't have the originals, they're having to scan colored copies, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
where
that
are the
have
black and
already
whites coming
changed
from?
color.
But sometimes, as we know, some of our friends are actually recreating the pages from scratch.
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
Bruce
Mhm.
Kirkendale, when DC or Marvel is missing a page that they need, they could go reach out to Bruce, and Bruce recreates it in a I don't know.
He reverse engineers it.
He does, and
Yeah.
it
Basically.
looks like the original art.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how good he is. And
I
so,
asked him once how he did that because because we were talking about some of our older stuff, right? And we had some of the stuff in color, and he said, "Well, it's long and convoluted, but basically I do this, and this." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, that sounds long and convoluted."
it's a skill.
Yes, it is
It's an absolute
absolutely.
skill. It's very technical.
Yeah,
But I'm
And not
glad
a lot of
guys
fun
can
either,
consist.
for the most part. Trying to
I wouldn't think so.
rescan in old pages and trying to get them ready to recolor or to scan in black and white books that you don't have the original pages anymore.
Well, and we've done this is kind of what our remixes are.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We've taken those. Now we're fortunate in that we've probably had a lot more of the original, or at least access to a lot more of the original art than we initially thought, because like for Cat and Mouse, you guys know we're working on an omnibus. We've been working on it forever. I know like the top two collectors of Cat and Mouse artwork. These guys had, dozens and dozens and dozens of pages, and they scanned them for me, right? So I had the original art to go with a lot. I'm going to say we probably, if I'm just guessing here with numbers, probably like 75% of the art. But the rest of it we had to scan from,
Yeah. And then try to clean that stuff up. Yeah.
But that's the thing with collected editions. You always see the chatter online. Well, Marvel or DC should just reprint this stuff. It's like,
right.
Well, yeah, but
they don't have it to reprint. What are you talking about?
They don't have these mass. They have archives, but they're not massive, and they're not. You got to pay somebody to root through all that stuff and figure out which pages you're actually missing.
And it really wasn't until
and then clean it up.
Right.
Early to mid 90s where we had where it was affordable to store all those images, and keep them around, So even though we were doing the digital stuff in the early 90s, who's got any of that stuff because it was expensive? Now you can buy a terabyte hard drive for the cost of a Happy Meal, right? But back then, that was a small car.
Also, you're storing it back then on digital media that doesn't have a place to plug it in today's media.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so
storing it on like SideQuest disc and stuff like that.
Because
But don't
to
even work anymore.
your question, I still have a box of about a dozen zip drives,
Mhm.
Funny.
which
I
has that artwork that I did in the late 90s with Silverline. It has it on there.
And
But I have-
unfortunately, those zip drives they're still just it's still just plastic inside there. It's not like it's a metal drive. Those zip drives, and then they may not boot up.
No.
No, I know it. Yep.
That's That's
So-
why
It's
you
like
gotta find.
a floppy disk from the the 1980s. it may not work now, even though you may have the floppy disk. It may not work now.
That's why you've got to find like two nerdy guys like in the back of the
Right.
the video store in war games who
Oh,
can figure out what's going on.
Oh, those drives, if you got them around any kind of a
Yeah.
magnet, ooh, they're
Oh,
gone.
I know it. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Who's next? Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Go ahead, Mike.
Going back on the idea of giving away comics, that's again, that's the best way to share. I mean, on my list, I'll go ahead and up this one up a little bit since we're talking about, again, with sharing with every time I see this in the dollar bin or any bin like this, I sometimes will buy it because I intend on giving it to somebody that would appreciate it. And luckily, sometimes there's more than one issue. I've been able to get a whole sense of this, but this is Green Hornet #1 from Now Comics that Ron Fortier and Jeff Butler created back in the late 80s. And I will always talk about how this was a big influence on a lot of stuff that I did. And whenever I find it, I pass it. I pass it forward. I make sure that anybody that I've ever talked about the series to, it's like, hey, here, I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Read it and enjoy it. And like I said, they may be in the dollar bins, but they're valuable. When I see them, because again, it's something you can give away.
That's something I was going to ask you, because I know that I kind of feel that way. Is that sometimes when I see these books, I'm like, oh, this shouldn't be in here for $1.
No. I mean, it's not a statement really on the value, because sometimes it's the fact that there were 1 million copies printed, but there are tons of them, and that's the reason. I mean, that's the reason that most dollar bins are full of so many Image comics.
But it's also true that the dealer selling it is probably younger than the comic.
True, and there's that too.
He has no love for it.
Yeah. And they probably don't know them because it's not on all these computer lists. It's not a hot book. It doesn't have
not one of those. What do they call them? The key book.
It's not a key.
It's not a key.
It's not a key, and I don't mean this to disparage the creators, but Ron Fortier and Jeff Butler are not the names on the lists of that collectors go for.
No.
Yeah.
So
go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm done.
David Ace Gutierrez says, "Nice pick, Mike," and that Steranko cover.
Exactly. I just sent it to the chat. If you want to pull it up, that Steranko cover is just it's legendary, because when you think of that time period of people of my generation that were reading indie comics, that's a big, that cover was it was everywhere, and I think
Facebook that.
Facebook. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. That's okay. I was like, "Where's it at?"
And I said that it was over 1 million copies that was sold. So those books are everywhere and have probably been resold. And as far as value, they're just, they're just in the dollar bins. But I've been able to get whole sections of the series and been able to pass. I've given them for Christmas gifts. I don't know how many times.
Also, I think it's a book that's in Fortier's wheelhouse.
Oh yeah.
He is a sort of a. I mean, the Green Hornet is not a pulp character. It didn't originate in the pulps, I don't think. But it is a pulpy style character, and Fortier excels at that kind of stuff.
Absolutely, and he made sense of. He was able to pull together the serial, the TV show, and then create his own, all in one book. And you had this book of legacy and value, and this family that kind of just. They were trying to work behind the scenes of crime to end crime. And so, like I said, Ron had a great beat with it.
Yeah. Tommy, you going to be inking?
Oh, yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
I was sharing the stream out again to some more people.
Yep. Get it shared. I think that's a good pick. You know what? I'm not sure I have the whole run. I need to check. I know I've got. I know I sent my list to Mike. Mike,
I've got what you're missing.
I need number 3.
So do you find? All right. So here I need number 3. Yeah. So do you find because we're all different places geographically. Do you find that kind of your local haunts? You've kind of gotten all of your picks from there, and you don't see too many of them anymore.
Yeah.
You kind of got to go out somewhere.
Oh yeah, I love driving. Maybe 2 hours away, going to a new comic shop I haven't been to before because it's a new $1 bin or new $2 bin, or
Right.
you got a whole new thing to go through because sometimes the local shops they tend to keep them for longer than they don't really cycle them out too much because as much as the Green Horde is valuable to me, there are other books that aren't valuable that are just in dollar bins because they just want to get rid of them.
Right.
And so they don't cycle those out, and you kind of like go back and it's like, oh, this is no fun. I'm not going to find buried treasure today.
That's why I like Free Comic Book Day, because Free Comic Book Day is also back issue bin dump day.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Where the retailer he knows he's going to have a ton of customers, and a lot of new customers coming to the store for Free Comic Book Day are not going to want to spend $5 for a new comic, but they might want to spend 50 cents or a buck for an old comic in a white box.
Yeah. And I talked to one of these recent conventions I did. I talked to a comic book guy there, and he was letting go of some nicer books for, I want to say about like $3 a pop, something like that. And I'm looking through them. I'm like, well, you know what? These are the kind of books that you see right over here. This guy, he's selling them for 8 and 10 and 12 and $15. I'm like, why are you letting them go so cheap? He goes, my thing is this. He goes, I bought a collection. He goes, I buy collections. And he goes, I go through there and I pick out the books that have high value. He goes, I sell those and I more than pay for the collection. He goes, I could let these go for $1 a piece and I'm still making money. And so I said, so if I get 10, will you let me have them for $1?
You're just setting the guy up.
You tricked him.
He did give me a deal. But but that's the thing is like he bought a huge collection. He took out the books that had value, moved those, and paid for his investment so that everything else he had was just kind of gravy. And so he was letting it go and move it, but he was moving them. And that's the thing because people like me would come along going, hey, is this Daredevil really just $3? Yeah. I'm like, there's like 15 of them in here. Yeah.
Well, there's a way to look at it, which is we're not a warehouse.
Right.
We're a store, and you want to, price to sell.
Well, our buddy Tom Rupp says this. He goes, if it's just sitting in my box, he goes, I'm not making any money off of it.
Nope.
He goes, I'd rather, I'd rather price it a little bit lower and move it. And because he goes, otherwise it's just sitting there and I'm not making any money.
Right.
Makes sense.
Tommy, Carrie Bibbins says, looking good, Tommy.
All right, Mr. Carey. How you doing, buddy?
And the inking's doing good too.
Yeah.
That's right. All right, who's next? Tommy, you want to talk about something you buy as you ink?
Well, yeah, if I can't talk and ink at the same time. It's two things. It's kind of what I was telling you about earlier. So it's things that I've bought over again. Even though at the time when it came out, so the Watchmen, I bought several of the books. I wasn't that big of a fan when Watchmen was coming out, but I have bought the big thick trade. I think I've got 2 copies now. I bought the second one by accident, I think. But I've given away 2 or 3 of those to friends, and I've always rebought it every time I didn't have one and I saw one on the shelf for $10. I'd always buy another one just so I would have one.
Yeah.
And I think I've read it. I've enjoyed it a lot more since. But that's one that I always give away to somebody, and because somebody will ask about it. But I always keep one. Right now I've got 2. I don't know why. I'm going to give you one, Roland. You need one.
Okay.
You haven't read it. And somehow, for some reason, I've got 2. So, but I end up buying the, my Spider-Man books. I'm always trying to, to finish my, to get the run of the original ones. And I've got a lot of the extra, even though I have the app out, we've got the app. What's the app that we like to use?
DLZ.
Yeah. So I've got that. Even though I have it, sometimes, I still end up at a show and I'll see a book that's, anything if I under the 100 count, the not $100, but
100 issue.
the issue number 100. If it's in the dollar bin, $5 bin, I usually buy it anyway because I know I can trade it into some comic shops that I'm buddies with, and so I always end up grabbing those. And if it's under the issue, of a 200 or less, and it's in the dollar bin, of course I end up snagging those just so I can trade them in. But yeah, I've got several by accident of the Spider-Man runs that I just end up. I think I don't know which one it is, but I've got like 7 copies of the same book for some stupid reason. I have no idea why. I should give you a copy. I know you collect them all.
Yes,
But,
I do, yeah.
but that's pretty much it for me as far as getting multiple stuff.
Yeah. Well, so let's talk about. I'm about to ask you a question, but I'm going to pop up David's comment first. He goes, David A. Scudero says, I have Watchmen in almost every format or version published. I can't tell you why. It's a sickness. So
Yeah.
that was my question. Well, my question is this. Is it Watchmen because, and this is just the question I'm casting out to all of you, is it Watchmen because do we think that Watchmen is kind of the book that brings respectability to the industry?
No.
No, okay.
I don't think so I like I said, I didn't like it when it was coming out. And,
Right.
I always thought the thing with the eye, with the circle with the smiley face and the blood and stuff, this is just dumb. I didn't like it.
Barry loved it.
I like it now. I think it's pretty cool, but I didn't like it.
It's trying to replicate something that made us feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've always got to make sure I've got a copy of it.
Tom, your no was pretty emphatic. Why do you say no?
Well, because I think Watchmen, like if you're giving a comic to somebody, I think you want to get, like if it's a new person who's not familiar with comics or whatever, I think you give it to them not because, oh, this is important or this is literature. I think that would turn people off. I think you give it to them because it's a complete adventure. Like this is a story.
Mhm.
It's 100, it's 200 pages or whatever. It's start to finish, beginning, middle, end. It's all there. You don't need a second book. You don't need anything else.
Right.
You'll either like it or you don't. If you do like it, I can steer you somewhere else.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it,
people know that it was a movie, so it means something. So if it's those non-comic book people that I tend to give that one to. I give that in the Walking Dead books to a lot of people because they
Walking Dead works.
I like
too.
those.
Yeah.
But you want to give a compendium, not just an issue.
Right. Yep. For sure.
Yeah.
So I think the worst thing you can do, I do this for myself, so maybe it's just me. The worst thing you can do is tell me something's important.
Right. Yeah.
Like, Tom, you got to read this. It's important. Tom, you got to watch this. It's important. Tom, you got to eat this food. It's important. It's like, oh my God, I'll run so far away from you.
Mhm.
Now I don't want to, right?
Yeah. If you tell me this is fun or this is entertaining or that I might like it, I'm in.
Yeah.
Don't tell me it's important.
Yeah.
So I'm inking, by the way, this is a cover
what are
for
you
Twilight Grimm. Is this for the graphic novel? Is that what we're doing?
Yes. Yep. For the trade. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And I actually figured out how to make my camera work this time so I can zoom in and stuff.
That looks
Last
good.
week, boy, we were having a time last week trying to get my camera to work.
Are you wearing your camera on your head?
I need to. That'd be cool. No.
Or is it like one of those cop things where you wear it around your neck?
It's on a little map. Oh, it flipped upside down. Oh no, it's upside down for me. There we go. Now it's right.
Mhm.
No, I can zoom in and out and all this kind of crazy stuff.
So I have a question for David A. Gutierrez.
All right. Far
Does
away.
this include the Watchmen that's now in Scholastic book size?
Oh, is there a new version of it out?
Oh yeah, compact.
It looks. I mean, I need glasses now to read it, but it looks tighter. It looks, it's. There's something about that format that is appealing to me. And if I was going to give it to a gift, give it as a gift to somebody new, I would give it to him in that format.
Yeah. It's funny. I think the Watchmen, as we wait for David to answer that, I think the Watchmen is the one. Okay, here's his answer. David A. Gutierrez says, yes, I have 2, one to keep and one to give out. There you go.
Yeah. He doesn't let me down.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. I think, the Watchmen is one of these kind of things you can find pretty frequently in a reduced price box.
Sure. That's when I usually pick up the thing again. So I have no idea what printing that I have now, but so
Well, because DC puts out different formats every now and then, you can always find the previous format at a discount.
Yeah.
So I think that works to your advantage too.
Yeah. So is that a good or a bad thing?
Right. I don't have any royalty percentage, so I don't care.
Yeah. You know what? I think it's a good thing. I know I saw some
I think
collectors.
they're selling them, so I guess that's got to be kind of a good thing, right?
Well, I saw some collectors talking about on one of these Facebook groups. They were talking about how they didn't like the fact that Marvel kept reprinting and DC kept reprinting a lot of their older stuff because it decreased the value of the originals.
Oh, boo-hoo.
That's
Yeah.
that's kind of what I said. I'm a collector as well. I was like, there's some of that stuff I'll never ever get, because it's been priced so far out of my budget. I'm never going to get. So if you tell me, oh look, I'm going to put it in this little collector's volume, bound volume, where you can get 1 through 20. I'm like, cool. I can buy that. I can get that. Plus, I'll get 2 through whatever.
But the thing is, you're not losing my sales because I wasn't going to buy your collectible issue anyway.
Right.
So
yeah.
I'm going to buy the thing to read it and put on my shelf. And if you invested heavily in a comic book that's now worth 10% less, that's not my problem.
Well, and here's the other thing I think collectors sometimes forget is that when they go to the retail shop and spend $400 on a back issue comic, the publisher made zero money on that.
Yeah,
and as did the creators.
As did the creators.
That's for sure.
No money whatsoever, aside from the original sale, right? The original sale, publisher to the retailer, that's what they made.
Also, there's no industry if you only have collectible comics.
Right. Yes.
And so the publishers are in the business of making money. And if you have a hot ticket item, Roland, here's a question for you as a publisher. If you have a hot ticket item, are you going to say, oh, no, I'm only going to print 100 copies and the 900 of you that want an issue will just have to suffer and overpay for the 100 that I made? Or would you go back to press? You'd go back.
I'm going back to press with 1,200 copies.
Right. Because you want your creators to have royalties and you want to have a successful publishing company.
Yep. Absolutely.
So
yeah.
I understand the collector's thing, but that's almost like the stock market. You bought stock, it goes up or down, and those are the chances that you take.
Right. Yep. I agree 100%.
Well, the big two are doing a lot of these facsimile comics.
Yeah.
That are, carbon copies of the original issues. And sometimes those books haven't been reprinted at all. I mean, you have all these trades of, Batman Year One that have been probably at least 50 or 60 reprints easily. Yeah. Probably in the almost 40 years since it was released. But they had never done a re-release of the original comics till last year. I got all 4 of them just because it was just basically the same book, but on better paper. And of course, newer edition, but it was the exact same comic I bought when I was 13 years old. And it was just it was a novelty to have it.
Yeah.
But it makes you feel young again. And you didn't have, again, granted you're paying $5 for it opposed to the 75 cents it originally was, but the very fact I was alive to buy them in both editions, that was just, but for a newer person, that's a pretty good entry point because, again, I like comics. Yeah. I love feeling a comic. Trades are nice and everything, but I love feeling a comic. So, the facsimiles, and of course, they were just doing like one story, but they're, that's all it's selling for them. And so now they're actually doing a whole series. It's like, I think last year they released all of Crisis 1 through 12. In fact,
really,
yeah, they did them, and they did them in the current thing, which is you'd have a foil version of the cover, you'd have a regular version of the cover, and so and but you're getting the individual issues opposed to them doing another trade. I mean, you can still get the trades anytime you want,
right? But
here you got a comic. If you wanted a comic in your hand, an individual comic with the cover and everything. And so I think that's a great value to be able to do that because, it also, again, they don't reprint the comics like they do reprint the trades. And so it's a nice new thing.
I got Detective 27.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First appearance of Batman. And they reprinted the entire comic, all the original backup stories and all the other stuff, and all the original ads or whatever.
Nice.
And so I was flipping through it. I just sort of marveled at how bad a lot of the comic book material was back in those days.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like it was drawn by teenagers.
Yes. Oh, I know. Didn't it?
And colored by monkeys and lettered by your grandmother.
It's
and
crazy.
So
I thought
I really-
I thought they were. Isn't that how they were done back then?
because I bought it because I wanted to try to look at it through the eyes of somebody in 1939. Would
Right.
Batman appeal to me if I was that age? And it kind of would, but it doesn't have that power where you think, oh, this is the first appearance of Batman.
No.
He's just another story and there's stupid Slam Bradley and there's
Yeah.
Radio Detective or whatever other stupid stuff is in the comic. It's like
Yeah.
but
Yeah, Tom, I'm glad to hear you say that. That's probably not a very popular opinion. It looked like they were drawn by teenagers because I've never been a huge fan of most of the 1940s art because I look
No, it's
at it and I
terrible.
go, this just doesn't look that good.
But that's why
Mhm.
when you see people like Lou Fine and when you see people like Reed Crandall and you see some of the guys, like Jack Cole, who really got it and who really understood, Bill Everett, Submariner,
Right.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
Those guys, that stuff is head and shoulders above some of the
Right.
regular generic people who were doing work at the time. That it really stands out, and you can look at that stuff and go, well, that's it's almost insane that they were working at that level.
You know, I'll tell you this. I've looked at, because you can get a lot of that, the Golden Age stuff in PDF format, public domain, all that kind of stuff. Now, I've looked at some of those and I'm like, these don't even look as good as a lot of the independent comics in the 80s.
Mhm.
That's the thing too, because I think I've said this before on the show. Is I saw at San Diego, I saw the first Will Eisner Spirit that somebody had reprinted, and it's not terrible, but it doesn't look like Will Eisner yet.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you can't even look at it and go, oh, I see where he's going to become great. It's like, no, he looks like a regular average guy. But just by doing it over time and doing
Yes.
it the Spirit Weekly all the time,
Yeah.
he got so much better at it. And the later Spirit stuff is tremendous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
End of rant.
I wonder how many Golden Age fans that hear this. You're gonna have them railing. Oh, the art was great in the 1940s.
What are you talking about? I'm
They're
not
reaching for
listening
their
to
heart
you
attack
guys no
pills and their
more.
low dose
That's
aspirin right now.
Yeah. Roberta, what about you?
Oh, geez. I've been mesmerized by Tommy's inking.
Now you know how we feel when we watch you color.
Oh, I got to do that again. I'm sorry.
You
It's been a
do.
while. Yeah, I was, I think what I always find when I'm looking out and about would be Daredevil. If I see
Daredevil.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think I got into it in the 90s and then I look for the 80s runs when I can find it
Oh man.
because it is good.
Yeah.
And I still don't have everything complete, so it's worth looking.
A lot of people talk about the Frank Miller stuff,
Mhm.
but I'll be honest with you. I like that. Don't get me wrong.
Well, that's where I
But-
started. I loved it.
Okay,
but
so
yeah.
so you read Ann Nocenti's stuff that followed him, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, I loved
That
Ann
was good.
Nocenti's. Yeah, I loved her.
Her stuff is
Daredevil.
really good.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Fantastic.
The Typhoid Mary stuff.
Mhm. Yeah.
Just
Is
Yeah, it was
is
really
that,
good villain.
Is that Junior? Is
Yep.
that Romita
Mhm.
Junior?
Yep.
Yeah.
And was it Al Williamson doing the inks?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
good stuff.
Yeah, those were great years.
They really were. You talking about those facsimiles? I just happen to remember. The one that I bought, I think I have a couple of versions. Is Avengers #4, because that was the first modern appearance of Cap, right?
Yeah.
After the World War II,
Yeah.
this is when they brought him back in.
Is
And
that the
of
one
course-
where he's full feet, where he's rushing at the audience?
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. And so it's one of those that in my mind I said, well, I'm probably not going to be able to ever afford the Avengers #4, so I want this facsimile. I want this because I want all the ads too. I want to see. I want to
fun.
see what #4 was, and so yeah, it's pretty cool. I like the facsimile versions of them.
I do too. I think it's a great gimmick.
Yep, I think so.
And I think, and Roland, stop me if I get this wrong. I think if Malibu had existed and we're now 30 years from Malibu, we'd be going back and doing facsimile editions of the original.
Oh, heck yeah. Oh, 100%.
true.
Like,
Yeah.
as soon as we saw DC do it, somebody would come in the office and say, we should do that.
Hey, Tom, you need to see this. Look what DC
Like,
did.
And then I'll say, okay, give me a
Tom
list
would
of 12
go,
books.
oh, man, I'm going to take this to
Everybody submit to me a list of 12 books by the end of the week. We're going to start rolling.
That's right. Men in Black.
Mhm.
Oh, man, a Man in Black
Yeah.
facsimile
Yeah,
edition.
can you imagine?
Yep. Jose says he wants to order his small submarine from the ad. You know, Jose, what I really want, and my mom never would let me order, was
X-ray glasses.
X-ray goggles.
Mhm.
I'm sure they work.
You know why
I
Roland
never got
said
them.
that? Because we're perverts. We want the X-ray.
I got you remember all the military the toys, 144 pieces. I got the World War II ones, and I also got the American Revolutionary War ones that my mom ordered from comics.
I
There
wanted
we
this
go,
one
yeah.
called
That's
Jack
great.
Davis Frankenstein.
Roland's still waiting on that Charles Atlas book. So.
Yep. I was about to say that. Ask if you did the
I
Charles
was kicking
Atlas.
sand in Roland's face earlier today. I always wanted the 7-foot tall Jack Davis.
Oh yeah,
That'd be cool. I want that.
What did I do? There we go. Yeah. Yeah. So for me, I guess Watchmen is certainly one of them. Because kind of like Tommy, I've given mine away a couple of times, and I own one now. I think it's not back there though. I own one now, but it's because I've seen it. Tommy, you remember the what was it? Hudson's. You remember Hudson's in Hattiesburg?
Yeah.
I think I bought 3 copies from there one time when I found them for $5.
I think I've bought one from there before too.
They were like $5 a piece, and I'm like, okay, I'm buying these.
I'm thinking my deal with the Watchmen is because I think somebody loaned me a book my first time I read the whole thing. So I think that's the reason why I keep getting them and giving them to other people. I think that's the
Yeah.
So what's the best book then to give somebody? Is it Watchmen or is it Batman Year One?
No, I would go with Batman Year One.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah, I think so.
I would go with Batman Year One too
Yeah,
because it's a familiar character
Yeah.
and it's basically a full origin
Yep.
and it's a story. It's a complete.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you like it, because I would never give Dark Knight because Dark Knight is really it's good but it's weird, and you sort of have to be in comics to get it.
I love this question. I'm going to be curious to hear what you guys say. I'm going to go last.
What?
David A. Gutierrez says, do you all buy copies of your own books when you come across them?
Yes, absolutely.
I used to, but because of Kablam, I just Roland knows I give away more than I sell at shows most of the time.
So
because I can just print some more.
Yeah. So Tommy, though, what about the ones that you worked on that you didn't print? Like the Malibu books, if you come across those.
When if I'm at a show and I'm and somebody's with me and I'm walking around, I always pull my book out and I throw it on the stack and I go, "There's my book, buy it." There's my book.
You're just hustling yourself.
I can see you doing
That's
that.
funny.
Yeah, I do that all the time. It's pretty shameless. I'm sorry.
I do.
Yeah.
I buy my stuff because many times I don't have as many copies as I think I have.
Right.
And so if I find them, especially Dinosaurs for Hire or Prototype or a couple of the early black and white Eternity books that I wrote, I will grab them because I don't think I have them.
Yeah.
And so I want them for that. And also, if I don't buy them, nobody else is going to buy them. So I want the retailer to feel good that he came to the show and I gave him money.
Yeah.
Well, you're kind of future selling yourself. If all of a sudden the books that you've written are now gone, and they knew that they're like, man, I got to get some more of those Tom Mason books. They're selling like hotcakes. So
yeah, I think that's an actual conversation that takes place. I'm certain there's an army of America's kids going, I read this when I was growing up. I got to get some more of these Tom Mason books. Whatever happened to that guy?
He wrote Malcolm in the Middle. That's what he did. That's
That's
comics for
right.
TV.
He abandoned comics for television. What a
That's
traitor.
right.
I'm not going to support him.
Mike, what about you?
Well, I don't have to do it because I've never had national distribution like you guys, so I don't have to buy my book.
What do you have you ever seen it in Dollar Box or
locally?
Oh
yeah.
Okay.
I'll take that back. I've never seen it, but a few people have. I've actually been told, "Hey, I scored this. Can you believe it?" It's like I can't believe somebody tried to, who actually paid for that. Like, okay, I'm cool. That's cool.
I almost never give away an independent comic though.
Yeah.
Unless I have duplicates.
Yeah.
Because the independent comics to me are like artisan candles or something where I want to hang on to them.
I'm the same way.
I don't.
Yeah.
Unless I have duplicates, I don't give that stuff away.
Yeah. Huh. So my answer is also yes. If it's in the cheap box, yeah, because I don't want to see my work in the 50-cent dollar box. I'm going to buy it. But
So it's an ego thing.
But also though, I will buy it because I do give it away. I will buy those and then give them to someone who said, "Oh, hey, I was interested in the story of yours," and I've got my copy, but that's my copy. It's not going anywhere, right? I have a probably doesn't surprise you guys. I have a little archive box, right?
Is it under your table?
It's right out of reach.
No,
it's just off camera. I can just
so the box that's over here. This is my Tommy. You remember the little folders that we used to have at Malibu that had all of our books in?
Oh yeah,
that's what this is down here. They're not folders, but they're. I can reach in here and I can pull them out. When we talk about the old cat and mouse, I got it right back here, right? That's what that is, right? But I have a box. One of these plastic comic boxes that is my archive thing. And so Jose says Roland's got an archive dungeon.
Yes.
Yeah. He also says the Crow Trade is the best gift. Oh, that's a good one too. Yeah. And a lot of people know that because of the movie as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Matthew Cricky says, "Hi, what's up, Matthew? Thanks for hanging out with us. We are talking about comics that you buy again and again."
And I think didn't I mail you a copy of Cat and Mouse last year that I found at a show?
You did. You certainly did. Yep.
One of the early black and white ones from from Eternity or Airstyle or something.
Yep, it was included in a box of stuff I got from you. Yeah.
So that's one thing I like to do is whenever I see Cat and Mouse out in the wild, I buy it and mail it to Roland.
Yep. And I've done the same thing. Who did I sent? I sent Rob Davis some stuff. I sent Barb some stuff that I found out in the wild in the cheap boxes. But yeah, so I absolutely will buy my stuff. Now, on the off chance, and I have seen this one time, I'll tell you all the story. On the off chance it's an expensive book, I won't. Right?
I'm shocked by this behavior.
Yeah. So I actually saw a couple of about 2 years ago, and if you guys think about it for a minute, you might figure it out. I saw Rocket Ranger number. It was either 3 or 5. I can't remember which it was now. For like 15 or it was 15 or $20 up on somebody's rack. Right?
Come on.
Okay. Then you got to get it.
It was 3. No, I didn't buy it for $15. No way. Like, no.
Did you sell them all of yours?
I just saw it in the dollar box over there, right? But this one guy had it, and I sat there and looked at it, and I said, "Is that really Rocket Ranger number 3 from Malibu Comics?" And he goes, "Oh yeah." And I'm like, "Why is that up there?" He goes, "Oh, because this one has the very first published ad about Spawn."
Oh my goodness!
That's
okay.
I'm like, dude, I just got rid of the box.
It's one of those key books.
Yeah, it's like a really deep dive key. It's like
That's reaching.
Man, the first ad
That's almost like a manufactured collectible at that point.
Right? Yeah.
So this had the first ad for X-ray specs.
Yeah, it was, but it was Rocket Ranger number 3.
That
Oh, you know
story-
what, David? I didn't even think about that. David Escurez says, "Did you offer to sign it?" You know what?
Because it wouldn't be worth it.
I was so shocked to see it up there that I don't recall making that offer. Normally I would.
My I got a story just the same as that. My business partner Barry Gregory, your longtime buddy, Malibu. He's worked for Malibu and stuff. His wife Jennifer Gregory has the first in was it Abby's Menagerie, or I forget which book that the Dreamwalker, one of her Dreamwalker books had a backup story that had the first Goon in it.
Ooh.
And that book,
okay.
that one book goes for $200 or $300, and and she's still got like a handful of copies of it. And
she should put those up on eBay one at a time.
Yeah, she does every now and again. She'll let one go.
Strike
but because it was one of those things that and that was printed. I forget who printed that one. Anyway, they ended up, it was one of the things like with Malibu where they had like several hundred extra copies of it, and they just gave them all to her, and she's just kind of handed them, and it turns out it had the first appearance of the Goon in it. And so every now and again, somebody will be, she'll see it on eBay and say, "Oh, my book's going for $200," and then you realize, oh, it's the one with the Goon in it.
Yes, that's funny. So I will add this, David, to talk about your question there. One of the things that I will often try to do is make sets. So like when I buy, I'll go out and if I buy Miss Fury, I don't take Miss Fury with me to the next show. Like, oh, look, here's Miss Fury number 1. I don't take it with me to the next show. I stick it in a box and hope that I'll find 2, 3, and 4. And then when I find 2, 3, and 4, I'll put those in a bag and I can sell it as a set that way.
I think it's best that way.
Yeah, I think so too. Because I mean, the problem is, the series was what Miss Fury is 91.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to buy issue 2.
Nobody wants to buy a single issue of that kind of stuff.
No, they want if they can get the whole thing though. They're like, oh, all right, I'll buy this whole thing. Right. Plus, you're right here. You can sign it, right?
Yes. Although if you offer to sign it and they say no, there's nothing more embarrassing.
That's true.
All right, that for your son? No. Thanks.
Has that ever happened to you?
Once.
Yeah, same to me. I said I'd be happy to sign it for you if you want me to. He goes, "Nah, I'm good."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Nah, I'm good."
Awesome.
What? Really?
It didn't. I had no emotion over it. Like I wasn't sad. I wasn't hurt. I wasn't upset. I wasn't angry. It's just funny to me.
I was. My emotion was I was surprised.
Right.
I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. No, no biggie. It's fine, right? Your book." But it's like, and most people want it signed, but even some of them are like, yeah, well, don't sign it to me, just put your name on it, right? Okay, right. Cool. Yeah, because you're gonna put it on eBay, right? Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Carrie Bivens says, I still have 6 copies of Jenny Gregory's book. I'm slowly paying off nursing school.
I know. That's true.
Do you want Jenny to sign that for you?
That's right, Carrie. You should have got Jenny to sign them when you were down here.
So, Roland, you got to tell us about your one Marvel book that you have. How many copies of? You got about 10, 15 copies of this one book that you keep collecting.
Oh,
you
my gosh.
Why.
Oh, my God.
Roland's got to tell you this one book, one particular book. Which book is it?
All right, so let me do a really quick Google search. And
you got a copy of it behind you. I see it right there.
No, I don't.
You looked. Make you look.
You guys been friends for how long?
Too long.
Yeah. Where's my Avengers cover gallery? Is what I need.
Yeah.
Gallery.
This is a funny story.
It's funny, Tommy.
Every now and again, there's several of our buddies from shows that we go to all the time. They know that Roland's looking for this book, and they'll bring him copies of this book. And I keep going, God, quit bringing him these books. Wait,
hide him around the convention. Make him find them.
No, they'll find them at other shows in this state and then hold on to them until they see them again, and then they'll just plop them down on the table and give them another copy.
Yes, this is true.
You have the best friends.
All right, so here, let me share here. Share screen.
Luckily, it's a book in a series that you love, so that
yes,
really,
true.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many copies of this I have.
You got a bunch. I know you've got a bunch.
What is so special?
It's
So,
special. It's really special.
All right, so granted, it's a part of a really good Avengers run, right? But I don't know, several years ago,
When you were a wee lad.
we were at Tommy was at the show with me. We were at a show, and Tom, our buddy Tom Ropp, who did the Daytona Beach Comic Con, and he walks up to me and he has this book and he says, "Will you sign this for me?" I'm like, why do you want me to sign this? He goes, "Because your letter is in there." I'm like, "Oh, you found it?" I had a fan letter printed in Avengers 282.
Yes.
I'm going to start trying to sell this as Roland Mann's first published work.
It's as good as any Spawn ad.
It sure is.
Hey, I gave that to you. I gave that to you in Pikeville that last year.
You sure
I
did.
think you
That's
did.
what I'm saying. Everybody gives me a copy now when they'll find it in the cheap boxes, right? And they'll buy it and they'll say, "Here, Roland." So I don't know how many copies of this I have.
So that's Avengers. I'm taking notes now. It's Avengers 282.
282, yeah.
All right, I do love a quest.
And there is a fan. If you'll turn to the back, you'll find a fan letter in there written by me.
Oh, Jim Shooter, this is the greatest issue of the Avengers.
That's exactly the way it reads, too.
Oh, I wish all Marvel comics were this good.
Suddenly, Tom's got me sounding like Mickey Mouse.
Please send me free stuff. Love, Roland Man.
Yeah, it's pretty much that way. So yeah, so I do have multiple copies. But in my defense, now I don't buy them. I don't buy them. I have a copy I bought, right? But all the extra copies I have been given to me.
That's irrelevant. You're not throwing them away. You're not handing them out.
David A. Scooter says, "I hope you signed your letter, Lil Roland Man."
Little man.
Little Roland Man. Your pal from Mississippi.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. All right, so I'm going to talk about other stuff now. Other books that I will buy when I find, you guys have heard me talk about this. There's a couple of them. I tend to buy Elementals whenever I see them. I tend to buy Scout by Tim Truman because I just think Scout is one of the greatest unsung independent comics from the 1980s.
Also, why that's not a movie or TV show, I will not understand.
Neither. It's perfect for it. I don't get it. Yeah. What else? Most of the Atlas books, Scorpion, Iron Jaw, a lot of those Atlas books I will buy again. Now, again, we're talking, particularly if I find them in the cheap boxes, I'll buy them.
Oh, because they're wonderfully stupid.
Oh, yes.
It's like reading Temu Marvel. It's like
Temu Marvel.
It's kind of like a Marvel comic from the 70s, but not really.
Right. It's true though. I'm trying to think what else.
I pick up American Flag every chance.
Oh, yep, that's a good one.
Also because I also love the ads. I love the letters columns. I love all that weird
stuff. Put that one back up there, Tom.
Oh.
Yeah.
Love me some American Flag, especially the first 12 issues.
Yeah.
And I will also pick up oddball Kirby stuff. Like I will.
Oh yeah.
So I've got Commandy.
Oh man, I will pick up Commandy whenever I see it.
I love it. Yeah. Every issue of Commandy is like 10 stories.
I know it's he crams so much stuff in there. Yeah.
And then I pick up the weird Kirby's, like Sandman,
Oh yeah.
and all the stuff he did after Carmine canceled the Fourth World and still had to find work for Kirby.
What?
I would pick those up.
What if Conan had braces?
on his legs like polio, or on his teeth?
Right. What the heck is that, David? What if Conan had braces? Pops is here. Pops says, "Hey, yo, what's up, Pops?
What's up?
Hey.
Or his braces like the British say suspenders?
Or does he mean, or his braces on his teeth?
Yeah, either way. What is it?
That's Iron Jaw.
Right.
Okay, yeah. That's Iron Jaw. Okay, all right. I get it now.
Let me ask you guys: are y'all rebuying these books because you hope that one day you'll have bought all that exists and you'll have them all?
No,
Corner the market.
Is that what it
Trying
is?
to corner the market.
No, I have no concern over that. I'm buying them for the at that moment experience. Because I'll read them as soon as I get home from the show. Sometimes I'll read them at the show because I want that experience like right now. So I have there's no ulterior thing where it's like, finally, I've got all the issues of Sandman by Jack Kirby. Now I control the universe.
Right.
Well, we are talking about buying the same issue, right?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think all of those elementals that Roland, that you keep buying, it was elemental number 4, I think, of that particular.
Right.
Yeah. You're just trying to make sure that there's you have them all, so nobody else can read the story, right? Because you're gonna have every copy.
No.
Oh,
I buy. You know what? It's like Tom said. I buy them because I get joy out of purchasing those comics. Right? It's like, oh, look, it's the elementals, right? I get to buy this, and then the other thing that I like about it, right? All right, the other thing I like about it is when I get one, I get to run back to the table and I go, Tommy, look at this thing right here, right?
And I go, you own 5 of those. Why?
And then I'll do this, right?
Oh.
I will acknowledge that a consequence of my buying a comic is preventing somebody else from buying it. That is true. However, that is not my goal, and I don't gleefully grab the comic and go, finally, Timmy doesn't have a comic.
You snatched it out of somebody's hand.
I don't worry about it too much.
No, I don't. But and again, part of the reason I don't ever worry about that either. But part of the reason is that had I ever given it thought, which I hadn't, I would have. My thought would have been, you know what? I'm probably gonna keep, for me, the best copy plus a reader, but I'm going to give this one away to somebody. You know, Tom will be talking about it sometime. You know, Roland, I never read Scout, and I'm going to go, well, Tom, I just so happen to have here's the first 12 issues right here. You know,
yeah.
And I will tell you guys, and I don't know how you feel, but that for me, that is a good feeling to be able to say, you know what, I was able to give, and you know, I'm just picking you guys at random, but I was able to give Roberta these copies right here that she's probably aware of and is familiar, but now she has them and she can read them and enjoy them in the same way that I do. That's a good feeling.
That's a good gift. Yeah.
Like when I found that issue of Cat and Mouse at the dollar bin or whatever, and I mailed it to you, it cost me more to mail it to you than I paid for it. And technically I lost money on it, but that's irrelevant. It made me feel good to find it, and then to say, I bet Roland needs to see this, and then just mail it to you.
Well,
you know, sometimes
go ahead, Mike.
I was going to say, sometimes buying multiple copies, it's a treasure hunt also to see if you can find better copies.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes the ones you get sometimes aren't in the best condition.
Right.
I mean, it's like this. This was the kitchen sink reprints of the post-war spirits.
Right.
This is my addiction. I don't know how many. I've got one complete set of the 87 issues, but I still look for these because I'm always looking for better copies because these covers were done by Eisner. They've never been reprinted.
Yeah.
And they're beautiful covers of Eisner doing the Spirit in the 80s with stories from the 40s.
Oh, that's great.
And so whenever I can find one of these suckers, I buy them.
They're hard to find. I've never seen one in the wild.
They're very hard to find. And when I find them, I got very lucky between eBay and dollar bins. I was able to get a whole set, but I'm always on the lookout for more copies.
Well, I guess this can go. What do you do with the extra copies? Like you said, you're buying one to sub in and gives you a better copy. So now you've got two. The second one may be a really poor version. What do you do with that one?
When my executor clears out my estate, that is their problem.
There you go.
That is not my issue.
That's what the kids get to worry about. There you go.
Right. Why does Dad have 40 copies of Scorpion #2 by Howard Chaykin? Well,
Yeah.
We knew that something was wrong with
I
that.
don't know, but they're going to Goodwill now, and those kids can finally have their own copy.
Oh, they're going to Goodwill. Oh no.
I hope not.
I'll be croaked. I don't care. It's just for me in the moment.
Yep.
Yep.
No,
Pretty
yeah,
much.
100%. Well, another thing you talk about that is that when you buy them, like Tom, for instance, the cat and mouse, I'm guessing you bought it, and then you started flipping through it, going, "Hey, I remember this. I remember,"
Yes.
and you start having flashbacks to the Malibu offices where you were, and maybe not anything specific, but in the just sort of general.
It's a feeling. It's like when you see, like
The
there.
good feels about it.
This I don't want to bring anybody down, but there are a number of movies from my childhood. It's like, oh, I saw that with my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That was a family movie that we saw, or that was a
Yep.
thing. And it's like, okay. So same thing with a comic book. I remember exactly where I was when I bought it on the newsstand. I remember exactly where I was when I first read it.
Yep.
I remember exactly what I remember exactly when my mom threw it in the trash. And so
Yeah.
I've got it again.
Yeah. David X. Gutierrez says kids today will not experience the thrill of the back issue hunt.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, no. I don't
Probably
think
not.
I don't think they have the same sort of. Well, our upbringing is the chase. Like we were always hunting comics at the newsstand and at 7-Elevens and all that, and convenience stores and drugstores and whatever. And so that builds into us that sort of comic book DNA of I got to find this.
yeah.
And I think now everything is accessible.
They just go to the Google now.
But yeah, just go and
Mhm.
they can read it online. They can buy it at a show. They can get it at a store. It's just any old thing they want. It's right there. And I think that's.
Yeah, and I think that the bigger companies have killed the desire to go find those older issues. Because, when I was in the 80s, if I started, some book at issue 423, well, if I liked it, I may go looking for the ones that came before it. But nowadays, wait 6 months and you'll have a new #1.
Right.
Mhm.
And there's just there's nothing that really fuels that search or that hunt.
And also if you find some obscure new indie comic that you think you might like, you can just contact the creator on social media and say, here's $5.
True.
Yeah. Yeah. And the other thing is you think, oh, well, you can't find everything. You know what? You guys have probably seen them too, but there's illegal sites out here on these comics. There's everything is there.
Oh, there's some great scans of Dinosaurs for Hire out there.
Really?
You get the whole set, black and white and color.
Well, you can ask Tommy. When I started talking about the omnibus, I was kind of complaining because I had some of the original art, but then others I was scanning from the pages. But then I found this illegal site. I'm like, hey, these copies are pretty good.
Yeah, and those guys did a better job at some of the ones that you had scanned in and fixed. It's like, golly, those guys.
Somebody
I guarantee. And I told Tommy, I said, you know what? I'm tempted to leave their little Read Comics Online logo on it on some of these pages and dare them to come at me.
You're right. You stole it from me. I'm stealing it back from you.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how they did it, but some of those pages, I'm like, man, this is a really good scan. And every scan that I take is terrible. I'm like, I can't get a good scan of that page.
Well, they obviously have some really high end scanners, and they've got an army of kids in some foreign country working for $1 a day.
Well, some of that stuff you just gotta why in the world did they scan cat and mouse? Why? It's
Because they
had nothing better.
I think. Everything is content, and it just fills the site.
Yeah,
it's to draw traffic. Those
the
are nice
ads
lines,
on the page, I'm sure.
Those are what? Those are nice
Tommy,
lines.
Yeah, Tommy, those are nice lines. It's really
They
good.
are nice lines.
Very nice.
I'm looking at that going, I've had too much caffeine this morning. I'm never going to get that kind of line.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah. What else? Any other thoughts? Any other books you guys can think of you buy whenever you see them again?
I will tell you that I am very excited whenever I see something I haven't seen in a while, whether it's something I read on, like Roach Mill.
Oh, I just bought that.
They're hard to find.
Yes, they are.
And it's such a great.
I bought the collection. Is that what you bought?
No, I've been collecting. I've been grabbing the individual issues, but every time I see one, it's like with Mike and the spirit stuff. It's like I don't see them that often, but every time I do, it's like, oh man, this is. I
literally just bought a couple of those.
It's Tom McWeeny and Rich Hedden. Is that it? Yeah, I know it's Tom McWeeny, but it's great. It's such a wonderful book.
It really is.
It's in the same category as like The Tick and some of that other great stuff. And I just think, it reminds me that there's so much great comic book stuff out there.
Right. Yeah.
That I haven't seen yet.
And I know I probably talk about this a lot, but I think the 80s were just full, even though there was a bit of a glut, I guess. 80s produced so many really good comics.
So here's the thing that I look at it, and maybe we can talk about. Maybe this is a different topic, but the 80s had so many comics, and so many of them were absolute crap.
Yes,
but so many of them were absolutely wonderful.
Oh man!
And I think the same is true of movies, and the same is true of television. That when television was starting out, there were, I think the numbers, like there were 58 Western shows on TV in any given season.
Wow.
And some of those Western shows, absolutely terrible. Some of them are absolutely terrific. And the same thing with movies. There are a lot of movies that came out in the 30s and 40s and 50s when they were making movies like every week. Yeah. And a lot of them are bad. but
I could watch The Thin Man over and over and over.
The ones, some of them we just watch again and again and again because they're terrific. And I think that's true of anything you can say. Like the internet, there's so much great stuff on the internet, and there is so much crap on the internet.
Yep.
Anytime there's a big glut of stuff, you just have to wade through it.
Yeah.
And I think you'll get rewarded. Like I feel some of the best of the 80s comics are. It's just wrong to call them 80s comics. They're just comics. They're just comics. They're comics.
Yeah, even though I'm writing down 80s comics here, we'll talk about
and many of the best of the 80s comic creators eventually abandoned independent comics and went to work for Marvel and DC, where they still made pretty good comics for the corporate structure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. I just think that there's so much, and for me, this is my showing my age a little bit. I didn't buy any of them in the early 80s because I didn't know about them. Right? Mm-hmm. You guys knew this. I'm a Marvel zombie, and so I graduated high school in 1983. I didn't really discover independent comic books until after I was out of high school, and that's when I'm like, oh wait. You mean somebody not Marvel and not DC publishes comics? And I knew about Archie, right? So, but they didn't count, right? Archie never counted to me. No. And you guys can throw shade at me if you want to, but I don't mean that in a negative way. I'm just like, okay, it was Marvel and DC, and then there was the kids comics, the way I looked at them. And then when I was in college, I discovered what the heck is an eclipse.
College is a time of experimentation, Rowan.
Yeah. So that's what I learned about all of those hot 80s independent companies, and I had friends that would say, "Hey, man, you heard of this Sable? Sable, yeah, it's great." I'm like, oh, okay. It's like it's a comic book. Oh, well, it's not done by Marvel. No, I'm not interested. That was my attitude for a long time. I changed.
What's better, Sable or Warlord?
Ooh, Warlord.
Why?
Yeah.
Why do you
think Sable's pretty good?
I like Sable, but I think for me, Warlord, because of the fantasy aspect of it, where Sable was every day. Does that make sense?
So
it was the opposite for me. I was never a big fantasy guy of Sable stuff. I always liked the street level stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I like the street level stuff too, but I think Warlord was.
I think Warlord was the best distillation of Edgar Rice Burroughs in comics form.
I was going to say Warlord was kind of my Conan.
Okay.
I didn't. Well, yeah, I was going to say I didn't really do a lot of the Conan back then, right? And so Warlord was kind of my Conan. If that makes any sense.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But Sable, there was nothing being. I mean, Sable was like a TV show or a movie, but there was nothing in comics like Sable.
Yeah.
And the Sable TV show sucked.
Yes, it did. It's one of those things where be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, they should make more comics on TV. And then you look at the 1980s and 1990s, it's like, nah, they really shouldn't.
Nope. They should just make more comics. All right. Well, as always happens, unless you guys have any other books that you want to bring out, we have run our course in time. It always happens. Anybody got any plans? Any shows coming up next week or so?
No.
It's slow now because it's the holidays.
It is. Yeah. Someone asked me the other day about a show, and I said, I don't think I'm doing another show until 2026. So, you want to show it, Tommy? Wait.
I can't see it too well. I got a different light shining on it.
I think it's pretty much a waste doing a show in November and December because everybody's got their Christmas money spent for other things.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
So.
Although I will say,
a couple at the beginning of the year, don't we?
Yeah. Carrie Bevins says Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was the first independent comic I picked up outside of Marvel and DC. Yeah.
And it was a parody of a Marvel comic, so it's sort of like Marvel adjacent.
Yeah. There was a lot of noise about that one when it came out. I remember that. Well, Tommy, the show that we did in the mall that time, wasn't that in early December that we set in front of the shoe store? I think that was an early December show because there were so many Christmas shopping. I think that's why we did so well there. Like this last one, this Oktoberfest was.
Yeah, I thought it was always in October. Didn't he? He always had an October show.
Maybe, but I think the one we did in front of the shoe store was around Christmas.
Maybe it was.
Because I think that's why there were so many people there. They were all Christmas shopping.
You need another Christmas shoe store con then.
Right. Yeah.
That's a funny show. Yeah. I went and bought shoes myself.
You did.
You spent all your comic book money on shoes.
God, when you got size 15, 16 feet, you just buy shoes when you can find them and put them away until you need them. Yeah.
I have dainty little woman feet, so I don't have that problem.
I know. You guys are so lucky.
That's funny.
All right, on Tuesday night, dang it, I won't get to join them either. Orlando by Night, Silverline's annual Masquerade. Let me start.
What are they doing?
Orlando by Night, Silverline's annual Vampire the Masquerade. The game continues the ongoing story of Orlando by Night. This is when Tim TK hosts the role-playing game Vampire the Masquerade, and the other attendees are playing.
I do like Vasquerade, though. I think that's a good word.
Yeah.
We should use that more often.
That's on Tuesday. On Wednesday, trivia. Guess who? Another round of the Guess the Superhero Villain. Will the viewers win streak continue? So the last time they did this, the audience competed against the panels, right?
Ooh.
And the audience won.
Was it Paste Spot Pete?
I don't know if they had Paste Spot Pete there or not, but I don't know.
I think I joined in with the audience and I was cheating. So
shame on you. Jose says, woohoo! And he says, I can't wait until Tuesday night. Yeah, I think Jose's been at all of them. Next week, we're gonna have Duo Publishing. You know, a few weeks ago we had Stephen Butler, but this next week we're gonna have Stephen and Lily Butler. It's a family affair. Stephen and Lily are Duo Publishing. Who are they? What do they do? And what's coming up from them? That's next week. We're gonna have Stephen and Lily Butler, and we're gonna talk to them.
Nice.
Should we mention Comic Book Chaos?
comic book
30
chaos.
minutes of comic
Yeah.
book.
Tommy, you know what? Tommy said he was going to get me a little.
Yeah, the
I've
Tommy
got-
and Stephen Butler
yeah.
drawing show.
Yeah.
What to draw? Yeah,
Yeah.
I need to do that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
fun.
do need to do that.
I need to
Yeah.
promote the thing.
I think we're gonna do Doc Ock on
Ooh.
Tuesday.
Oh, nice.
Is there time to do all 8 arms?
If hopefully we'll get the inks done. We got Brian LeBlanc. He usually gets his colored in time in the 30 minutes. So that's
Wow.
pretty nuts. Yeah.
For him.
Yep. Don't forget, we've got the crowdfunder over on Silverline Comics, crowdfunder.com, Sirens #3 and Scary Book #2. So get on over there, back it if you can. If you can't back it, we understand, but you can share it. And so we ask that you all share it out amongst your friends and your frenemies. Tell them to go back.
And don't forget to like and subscribe to our own.
That's
Our own
exactly
show.
right.
That's right.
Oh, show.
And until next week, remember to
Make
make
mine
mine
Silverline.
Silverline. Good night, everyone.
Huzzah.
Hey everyone, this is Jose Marzan Jr., inker for Marvel and DC, and make mine Silverline.